Hi, and welcome to your Flow sleep session. These sessions can be done on catch up every day of the week if you have that luxury. You can pair it with a stretch session or a strength session. It's really here to help you move into a more relaxed state. It's here to help you move into your rest and digest state, the parasympathetic nervous system, where we can really relax and allow our minds to switch off and the bodies to go into more of a healing mode, prepping ourselves for a good night's sleep. So if you're catching up, please make sure to still leave your name in the comments. Let me know how it was. If you can, let me know tomorrow or the day after doing this, and avoid as much screen time as you can once you have finished this flow. Welcome to everyone who is here live. Please pop your name in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. How has your week been? How are you feeling on the 26th of January? How has this last bit of January treated you? Who took part in the madness that was 5:30 this afternoon with Suri and Jay? I did. I'm feeling it massively. It was a hectic workout, but it was awesome. It's really good for me to do those hit sessions and like just kind of shake out any nervous energy that I am currently holding. So I'm very excited to be here, and thank you for joining. Good evening, everyone. Catherine, good evening. Megan, Nicole, Rish, lovely to have you here. Tennille, first sleep flow class. Tennille, I am so glad that you have decided to join for your first sleep flow. So for these sleep flow classes, you can have, if you have yoga props, have them nearby so you can use them at any point, especially if you've already got a practice, you kind of know your way around your mat and your props, then you can use them at any point in time that you feel appropriate to do so. If you do not have yoga props, do not fret. As you can see behind me, it looks like I have a little bed laid out, and that's pretty much the idea, is that you gather 2, 3, 4, 5 cushions to support you throughout your practice. We'll be using them to pad ourselves underneath the head, the legs, anywhere you need. I will be guiding you through the setups for each pose, and pretty much the only thing you have to do for this 45-minute session is relax. So that is your only instruction, or your main instruction from me. Welcome everyone, good evening. Arna van den Berg, good evening and welcome. Maini, hi. Nikki, Carl, good evening. Nice to see you here. Amanda, thank you so much. Yes, you do. I got engaged over the weekend. So very exciting times. I feel very blessed to have such a light thing in my life. Not that I don't have countless things to be grateful for. But an engagement is obviously something super special, and as you can see, I've pretty much been smiling nonstop. For the last 3 days, it's been very overwhelming, all the love, but in the best way possible. So thank you again for that. Good evening, Taryn, Blanche, Natasha, Amy, Jane, so excited to be joining you this evening. My son, James, 7, is also giving it a try. Well, Amy and James, good evening and welcome. James, I'm sure that you're going to love this. So stoked that you're doing a sleep flow with your mom. That is absolutely amazing, guys. This session is really appropriate for pretty much anyone. It's not the easiest because naturally we're quite busy. I think a lot of the time we we head to the end of our day and the minds are still reeling and still looking at that to-do list and you think what you haven't done and what you need to do. So doing a practice like this can be quite challenging actually because there's a lot of nothingness. There's a lot of quiet, a lot of stillness, and you're left with yourself. No distractions. So if it is quite challenging, that's very normal. And it's just one of those things. The more you practice this, the more you'll be able to relax and to release and really allow yourself to move into that space of quietness, of healing, of calmness, and integration. So welcome back to everyone who has been doing their sleep flow regularly. It's still quite a new thing. And welcome to everyone who is new. So if you are new, please come on here and introduce yourself. Let me know who you are and where you're from. Thank you, Melody, for the congrats. Denise, thank you so much. Amy Lee Johnson, first time doing this ever. Welcome, Amy. I hope you enjoy the practice. Sharon, thank you so much for the congratulations, guys. It has been overwhelming, all the love. Thank you so much. Very exciting things to happen during these times. Nicole replying to Amy, saying, my son said it was the last week and slept so well. I think before you shared a picture with me, if I'm correct, and that is just absolutely amazing. Like I was saying, these sessions are really appropriate for pretty much anyone, the whole family. So if the kids, if the partner, anyone is struggling with sleep, bad quality sleep, struggling to fall asleep. I think sleep is something that we often, most people really actually tend to struggle with quite regularly. You hear a lot of the time when you speak to people, you ask, how are you? You know, a lot of time people say like, yeah, I'm good, you know, I'm sleeping okay. But it's not very often that you bump into someone and you say, how are you? And they go, wow, I'm great. I have been sleeping so well. And that's really where we'd like to be at. Sleep is not only one of the pillars of our health. I think that it's the foundation. You're not sleeping, you're not resting, you're not healing, you're not allowing your body to reset. There's so many things that happen physiologically with us. And then, of course, everything's connected energetically, emotionally, mentally. So many things that happen to us while we sleep that cannot be performed and that cannot happen when we're awake. And I just read a little bit about a study. I think it's Harvard. I'll have to find that link. That has now done a trial or a test that has said that the quality of your sleep is more important than the quality of your sleep is more important than the quantity. So if you are sleeping hours and hours and hours of bad quality sleep, just because you sleep for 10 hours does not mean that it is helping you whatsoever. Obviously, yes, there is benefits. Someone like me, I am a sleepaholic, a napaholic. I use my sleeping very much as a coping mechanism. It can drive my partner up the wall sometimes, but it has helped me. It becomes my tool when I'm moving through depression, when I'm moving through anxiety. I was diagnosed with bipolar a few years ago, so working through a lot of those kinds of ups and downs, my sleep became my tool where I could escape. And what was beautiful for it for me was when I go to sleep, I could slip out of that anxiety and I could reset, I could allow my nervous system to calm. And when I woke up from that sleep, I was able to then kind of move from the focus space again. But it could also be overused and abused, as we can do with anything. So using your sleep as an avoidance technique to not deal with things is also not healthy. So sleep can actually play such a it does play such a huge role in our lives, and we actually have a whole relationship with it. So I hope that these sessions encourage you all to have a look at what your relationship is with sleep, how it's serving you in what ways, in many different ways, and how you're using it to really be super beneficial and to aid you in feeling more vibrant and feeling more energetic and yeah, general health and well-being. Good evening, Claire. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Adna Vandenberg says my daughter fell asleep within the first 10 minutes. Amazing, amazing, amazing. If you fall asleep, 100%, that is perfect because then you're doing it right. Um, don't worry if you fall asleep through the session. Coach Liz, sending you all sleepy vibes, just popping in to say hi. Thanks for popping in, Liz. Um, Liz and I were having great chats today. Obviously, you guys know behind the scenes that we are always doing a million things. So thanks for popping in, Liz. It was so nice to see you and chat to you that much today. Everyone, we've got our amazing big 25-hour workout happening on Saturday. I will be teaching a bunch of those sessions. More info, I'm going to post all the info about our first session tomorrow, and all you're going to be hearing about. But I think what you really want to put your focus on and your awareness on your attention on is that this whole big shebang 25-hour workout from the amazing people involved, it's all dedicated to community givers. So an amazing organization who really needs our support. Donations have been coming in and we're just so grateful for this community who consistently shows up. And that's what we need to do for Saturday. That's what we're all going to do. We're all the instructors, the coaches behind the scenes, admin, everyone, you guys know we're a big crew. We are all coaching our students for this weekend, for this 25-hour workout. So I hope that you are ready for that and that you have dedicated at least 1 hour to the cause on Saturday to support our captain, John O'Macy's doing this 25-hour workout. Leslie, looking forward to my first sleep for helping. Leslie, it's so lovely to see your name here. Why do I feel like I haven't seen you for a while? I'm so glad you're here, and I really hope that it does help you. Remember, guys, there is no such thing as a quick fix. There is no snapping of the fingers. This is not magic. This is real life. This is real bodies. These are real changes that you find in your life. And real changes take time and consistency. So if you do not magically have a safe night's sleep after the show, which I hope you do, but if you do not, just keep throwing up conversations, do them on replay, and you're going to have to retrain your body, your mind, your nervous system to go into the state where you can have a nice sleep. So well done for being here, Leslie. That is honestly, that is different. Well, I too use sleep as a coping mechanism. I absolutely love my afternoon nap over the weekend. Sleep heals, costs nothing, and helps escape reality for a while. Sunil, I could not have said it better myself. Thank you so much for sharing that. Absolutely 100%. I think very often we look at things and we go, is it good or is it bad? But I don't think things are always black and white, and we need to meet ourselves where we are in this time and moment, on this specific day, and just try and do what serves us. Do what is going to help you move forward and help you process, help you reconnect. And if that is a nap, then take that nap. Welcome to everyone who has just popped on. It is 4:02. We are about to get started. So I hope that you enjoy this practice. Let me get ready. We are actually going to start standing tonight. I know we all want to go straight onto our backs. But we're actually going to start standing this evening. So bring yourself and on your mat. You won't be here for long, I promise. But I'd like for you to ground your feet. Bring your feet hip distance. Take a nice scoop from the shoulders, up, back, and down. Just release a little to the upper back. Open up the shape. Take a few deep breaths. Maybe take a few exhales out through the mouth. Bring yourself forward. Rotate your palms forward and close your eyes for a moment. I'd like you to just ground into your body and into the space that you're in. Everything that it took for you to get to this point today, let all of that go. I want you to consciously now let go of everything that it took for you to get here today, every experience, connection with other people, conversation, thought process. Just let all of that, almost like it can melt off your mat and melt out of the space that you're in until you're simply just left with yourself right now and your breath. Everything can be put down, and when you finish your practice, it'll be there waiting for you. You can pick it back up. But for the next 45 minutes, put all of it down. The next 45 minutes are here for you to relax, for us to move into the healing part of our nervous system, so physiologically allowing us to move into our rest and digest state. I want you to take one more deep breath in through your nose. Gentle exhale through the mouth. And let's open the eyes. We'll start off with some gentle movement this evening, just to kind of shift any energy that's hovering around, just to kind of shift all of that out and bring ourselves fully present into our bodies. Let's take an inhale, full breath in, reach your arms up. Take an exhale to your right arm down, left arm over and across. Again, inhale back to center. And take an exhale to your left, reach over and across. And again, inhale, reach both arms up, full stretch. Exhale, release the arms down. Taking a little spinal roll, so I'll show you from the side. You're going to bend your knees, relax your arms completely, tuck your chin to your chest, and then super slowly allow the spine to roll all the way down. Take your time. And as you reach the bottom of your forward folds, you're going to reach for your opposite elbows. You could start to work the legs a little straighter, and we'll just hold this inversion here for a few breaths. So you could sway a little side to side, allowing the back of the legs to open. Switch on your breath. If inversions become too much at any point during any practice, I want you to bend your knees, take the ski race position, so you're only halfway inverted. But if you're loving being upside down, stay here. 2 more full rounds of breath. In through the nose, out through the nose, and again in through the nose, and out through the nose. Well done. Release your arms. If you straighten out your legs, bend them now.
From the bottom up, start to roll the spine, stacking the vertebra bone by bone, one on top of the next until you can come all the way up to stand, shoulders and head up last. Loop the shoulders up, back and down. Taking our little side stretches again. Inhale, reach the arms up. Over to your left, reaching right arm all the way over. Full breath out. Take an inhale back to center. And move over to your right hand down, left arm over. Again, let's bring both arms up. Full reach up, inhale. And release both arms down. Once more, we'll take that little spinal roll. So bend the knees, heavy arms. Allow chin to lower to chest, and then using gravity to pull you down, using the weight of the skull to traction the vertebra all the way down. Again, only go down as far as you can. Once you've reached that maximum, you'll reach to your elbows again. Change the grip, so you'll have a different forearm on top now. Again, perhaps you straighten out the legs as you allow the spine to release down. We're going to take 5 breaths here together. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Release the hands. Bend the knees, a slight activation through glutes and abdominals as you roll the spine up super slowly, vertebra by vertebra. Bring yourself all the way up to stand. It's the shoulders and the head up last. And then you'll lift all the way up to look forward. All right, let's set up for our last standing inversion. It will be a wide-legged forward fold, so a straddle forward fold. You can step across your mat, heels in alignment with one another. Take your hands to your hips, and for a moment, take a little bit of a back bend here. So I want you to squeeze your elbows backwards, open up through the collarbones, and lift the sternum, so lift the chest nice and tall. Firm through the front of the thighs, draw the kneecaps up. All right, if you've got super tight hamstrings, you're going to want to bend your knees here. If possible, you're keeping the legs straight, taking your chest forward as you hinge from the hips. Again, you'll move until you feel, all right, my body's chatting to me here. I'm not going to go much further. This is then when you'll place your fingertips on the floor, perhaps your palms, release the lower back a little more, middle back, upper back, and head. Keep pressing through the heels of the feet, the balls of the feet, equal weight through right and left foot. Draw the lower belly up and in as you lift the sit bones up to the ceiling. See if you can nod your head yes or no as you just relax through the neck and the head. 2 more breaths. All right. And then lift into a halfway lift. You're going to heel toe the feet back to be hip distance. Take a little bend in the knees. Slowly from the bottom up, you're going to start to roll your spine, stack one vertebra on the next until you come all the way up and loop the shoulders. Let's take 3 gentle but flushing breaths. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, inhale through the nose, exhale everything out. Last one, inhale through the nose and exhale out. All right. We're going to come into a supported child's pose. Coming down onto your knees. Separate the knees and bring the big toes to touch. So this is where you will need your cushions. If flexion in the knees is not possible to you at all, you're going to take a butterfly pose with the soles of the feet together. You'll take the same forward fold with the same support of the cushion underneath you. If you can move into the child's pose, you'll move with me. So you're on the tops of the feet. Take one cushion and place it between your buttocks and your heels. All right, so you've got a little more space between the knees and it's nice and supported. Bring a second cushion and perhaps even the third cushion up out in front of you. You're going to take your buttocks back but your chest forward. Arms can reach forward. I like to slide my hands in underneath my cushions. It gives a little bit of a weighted feeling down and encourages my arms to relax a little more. So we're going to stay here. I'm actually going to time us. And we're going to hold about 2 minutes on each side. So make sure you're settled in, staying or turning the face to one side. Relax the head. And you're just going to breathe. So with these poses that we hold a little longer, it's important that you take your time to settle into the shape. So really adjusting, rearranging, and propping yourself up as much as you need to so that you can find the relaxation in the pose, and so that for these 2 minutes, you're not kind of wishing every second that you could move. Yes, sometimes there will be discomfort and sometimes it might become intense. That's okay. You're just going to breathe through it. And so completely relax through the shoulders. Completely relax through the hips. I'm going to stay 1 more minute here. If your eyes are open, can you close them? And I want you to just focus on the sound of your breath as you fully relax, almost feeling like everything to the right of your spine is dripping and melting down to the right. And everything on the left of your spine is dripping and melting down to the left, and becoming heavier and heavier. All right, and then we're going to switch. So you're going to look over to the second side, resting the head on the cushion. You can take little readjustments or rearranging the body if you need, but if possible, you actually want to just try and stay quite still. And the breath just traveling in and out through the nostrils, and the back of the throat to expand into the lungs. Feel it spreading through the lower back. Notice any tingling sensations, temperature changes, and the beat of your heart. And if the mind starts to wander, come back to your breath, so stay present. Now is not the time for planning, for doing, for thinking. Now is the time to just be. Alright, and then we're going to bring ourselves back onto all fours. So you could place your props to the side. If your knees are quite sensitive and you feel you'd like an extra bit of padding, you could always place your cushion underneath your knees. Let's bring the knees hip distance, the wrists shoulder distance, and we'll move through a few rounds of cat-cow. So for those of you who are new to the practice, if it's your first time to flow, our cat-cow is our extension and flexion of the spine. We're going to move really gently with the breath. Using your inhale to lengthen, lift the sit bones up and back, curl your ears back and open your throat. And on your exhale, you're going to suck navel to spine, start to round, curling the tailbone down, tucking the chin. We're going to do 4 more like that. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, curl around. And it just becomes like a moving meditation. We're going to do 3 more. Again, if you can, close your eyes. See if you can lengthen the breath as you move through each round. All right. And then let's come into a neutral spine. You're going to make your way onto your buttocks. So for those of you who've perhaps just done your butterfly pose instead of your child's pose, you're going to do your butterfly pose again. So for this pose, it's quite long. It's not kind of the short, small, active variation of this pose. The soles of the feet are still touching, but the feet are a little further away from you. If you feel you need some support under the thighs, you could place your cushion underneath the side of the thighs, which is quite a nice support, allowing the hips to soften a little bit. Your hands are reaching onto your shins at first. We're going to take a little lift, a little lengthen. And then your hands will start to move down towards the ankles. So for a lot of us, this is enough, and you could simply stay here. Just allow the head to release down. All right, we're going to stay about 3 full minutes in this pose. Another option for the arms is to take the hands, take the arms, slide them in underneath the calf muscles. Hands can move to feet, and perhaps the head releases down towards the feet. I don't want you to be feeling any pain anywhere, and you really want to feel supported, so don't force anything. You've got your third cushion. Third cushion could come underneath the forehead and be a really nice support. And this will allow you to relax a little more into the pose. Remember, this session is all about relaxing. It's not trying to find your deepest, fanciest pose. It is about allowing your body to feel fully supported, fully safe, fully held, and then encouraging the breath just to pass in and out really smoothly, naturally, and softly. And we're staying here a while longer. So again, if you need to move a little bit, move. But if you can, just try and stay completely still as you are. Alright, last 30 seconds or so. Can you notice if there's perhaps a part of the body that you can relax just a little more? Perhaps somewhere in the face, the shoulders, the arms, the hips or the legs. Alright, and then you can roll the spine up. We're going to stay in the same shape with the legs, but you're going to take your cushion, so whether you used one now or not, make sure you've got one that you can bring in behind you, slide it right underneath the tailbone. I want you to lay yourself all the way down with this pillow supporting the whole length of the spine as well as the back of your head. Again, we'll stay here, same shape in the legs, but just notice how different that feels now that we've changed the rotation and the direction of the pelvis and the spine. I'd like for you to bring your arms up over your head and place one of your wrists into one of your hands, so it doesn't matter which one you do first. But the wrist that's on the opposite hand becomes a little weight, so that both arms are reaching up and backwards, really relaxing backwards and allowing an opening in the front line of the body, an opening of the lungs. But please prop yourself up here as much as you need to feel fully supported. I want you to feel like you're going to roll off your pillow or roll off the bolster or whatever's underneath your spine. I want you to feel fully relaxed. And we're going to stay here in this pose also for a couple of minutes, so close your eyes. And feel how good it is to just open up this front space of the body. Gentle in the face and in the breath. Excuse me, sneezing. Alright, so then we're going to stay here. You're just simply going to change the hands, so placing the opposite wrist into the second hand now. I'd like you to lengthen your inhale and your exhale now. So fill your breath to full, fill the lungs completely through the nose. And then exhale through the nose, a little activation through the belly, through the intercostals of the ribs as you squeeze the exhale out. And just continue to allow the breath to move. Alright. And then if your eyes are closed, you'll open them. Release the hands. Bring the hands to your outer thighs, just to help bring the knees up towards the ceiling, and place the feet hip distance flat on the ground. So just pause here for a moment. Bring your feet a little closer to your buttocks, so your heels a little closer to your buttocks. And then a very gentle bridge pose. Lift the hips a little bit and place them back down onto the mat. The cushions either side of you, you can just kind of pull them a little away or place them to the side. Heel toe the feet to be wider than the hips, letting the inner knees touch one another. Arms will move over the chest. Constructive relaxation pose. Again, you just relaxing those arms so they become a weight, kind of weighting you down onto the mat. I'm quite comfortable on my long pillow along my spine, but if it feels super uncomfortable with a cushion underneath your back for this pose, you're welcome to remove it. And then I'd like for you to move through just an easy, simple full body scan for the next few rounds of breath, working your way from the toes up to the crown of the head. And as you move through parts of the body, can you relax them a little more? So starting with the feet, the ankles, calf muscles, thighs, hips, belly, lower back, middle back, upper back, chest, shoulders, arms, neck and head. Can you relax from the toes to the fingertips, to the crown of the head, to the base of the spine? Let everything just sink down to the floor. And you can change the cross of the arms. Stay as you are. I want you to take 3 more deep rounds of breath here and make them the 3 deepest breaths you've taken today. And after your 3 exhales, the eyes will open. Release your arms. Heel toe the feet back to be hip distance. We're coming back into to a seat. So if you need to roll to the side, otherwise knees could come to chest, and you could simply take a little rock up to sit. Extending the legs out in front of you. You could take a cushion underneath the knees here, especially if you know that your back line is quite tight, so the legs are quite tight. I'd like for you to support the legs with a cushion. As we did in our forward folds, we're going to take that second, maybe even third cushion to support the head. Readjust the sit bones. You could even kind of pull the fleshy part of the buttock slightly backwards, so that you're really sitting up on those sit bones and you're trying to take the pelvis to lean forward instead of it leaning back, and you're trying to round through the upper back. So sit nice and tall, pad yourself, prop yourself as much as you need. Hands could reach towards the feet or simply relax either side. Again, we're going to hold this for about 4 minutes, 2 to each side, the rotation of the neck. So whenever you're ready, you can look over to one side. I want you to relax the legs, relax the feet. To me, it feels quite comfortable holding onto the feet here, but your hands might be relaxed down. You might need 1 or 2 cushions to relax the head onto. Try to lengthen the spine forward as much as possible. And again, the eyes can close and it's full relaxation. And even though the pose is really static, the bones and the muscles, the tendons and the ligaments are very still and quiet, can you really allow the internal movement to continue? So there's no gripping or holding on with the mind to thoughts, memories, or experiences. And there's also a fluid movement of the breath. With every exhale, allowing the physical body to relax deeper. Last 2 breaths here. And then you're going to look over to your second side. Readjust, rearrange as you must. If you need any little movements, any little changes. And then I'd like for you to again relax through the feet, the ankles and the legs, the knees, the hips. Relax the lower belly, the lower back. Feel it spread, feel it lengthen. Continue just to press that exhale out by allowing the body to become super heavy on that exhale. Just let everything, all the old air leave the body, all the stagnant air, stagnant energy leave the body. You're relaxing more into that rest and digest state. Last few rounds of breath here. Enjoy the pose. Alright, and then you can bring yourself up to sit. Place your cushions to the side, not too far away from you. We're going to use them again. But bring yourself to lay down on your back. And once you've laid your spine down, bring your knees towards your chest. And give yourself a little squeeze, a little rock, side to side. And so 2 options here. Option 1 is to keep the hands on the knees. Option 2 is just to place the hands down to the floor. You're just going to move through some hip circles here. So releasing through those hip joints, taking the legs out to the side and back together. Nice, change direction. Alright, bring the knees back to chest. Place your left foot down and take a figure 4 with your right. So outer right ankle moves on top of left thigh. That right knee moves away from you. Little more of an active pose, this one, as we get into that outer right buttock. You could stay here or lift that left foot off the floor. Hands come either behind left thigh or front of left shin as you completely relax that left leg. Keep a little flex through your right ankle and right knee. Try and get the whole spine down onto the mat. And encourage that right knee away from you. We'll just take about 5 breaths here. Alright, so you're going to place your left foot down. Simply switch. Place right foot down, left knee up, take outer left ankle, flex that ankle to protect left knee out to the side. You're staying here, or raise right foot, hands behind thigh or front of shin. Relax through that right foot, keep the flex through the left, and try and anchor the whole spine from crown of the head to sacrum down to the floor as you encourage that right hip to roll away from the midline, and the left hip, to roll away from the midline, and that left knee will then move away from you. 5 full breaths. Well done. Release right foot down. Release left foot down. Bring right knee back into chest. This time I want you to extend that left leg forward. Bring one of your cushions to the left side of the body, so next to the left hip. Open your arms out to the side and start to roll. I like to take my whole pelvis a little to the right first, but then start to roll that right leg over to the left. So you're going to keep the shoulders down to the mat. You might need one cushion, you might need two cushions. I want you to be nice and supported. Take your left hand to your right hip and just encourage that right hip to roll down slightly. And then you can open both arms out to the side again. Once more, we will hold. Let's get my timer. We're just going to hold for about a minute in this pose. So let those arms open, let the body be heavy, and enjoy it. If it doesn't feel comfortable to look up, you can look over to the left. So just let the head roll over to the left. Just a minute of breathing in this pose, a minute of enjoyment, of indulgence, of pleasure, of softening and relaxing. Alright, if you're looking to your left, you'll look back up. Extend that right leg so that you can roll back onto your spine. Readjust through the hips, the pelvis. Take your cushion, place it onto your right side. Extend that right leg forward. Draw left knee to chest. And you'll take your twist to your second side. So pelvis a little to the left. Left knee over to the right. Open the arms into a T. If you looked up to the ceiling on that first side, then try stick to that in the second side of any pose. So you try and balance out the body. If you looked over to the left, you're going to look over to your right now, and again, use this minute. Use this minute to relax. And let the breath move in and out. Relax your hands and your feet. Alright, and then you'll look up towards the ceiling. Come out of the pose. Readjust back onto your spine. Give yourself a little squeeze. And then we'll just take a last minute or two here. Place your cushion underneath your knees. Place another cushion underneath your head. Take your arms out to the side. Find symmetry within the body. And then you'll close your eyes. I'm going to stay quiet for the next minute or so as you just allow yourself to move deeper, become heavier and quieter. If you have the opportunity to stay here a little longer, I can highly suggest you stay here. If you want to close the practice together, I'm going to bend your knees. Slowly roll over onto your side and just pause for a moment. Let the body be heavy and soft. You'll allow the eyes to open. And using your top hand to press into the floor to bring you up into a seat. And let's place the hands on the thighs as you close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and a breath out. Take a last moment just to thank yourself for making the time to arrive at this state. And to allow yourself to let everything else go and to just release and relax. Knowing that sometimes doing nothing is the most important thing that we can do. And thank you for joining for this session. I really hope that it served you. If you have any questions, you know to please send me a message, send me a DM, or leave a comment. If you can, and you're practicing this in the evening if possible, try and close all your screens, switch all the screens off, and just take the rest of the evening to stay in this quiet, gentle energy with no bright lights, screen, noise, communications. If you can, full silence, no speaking until the morning. It's a challenge, but it's such a beautiful practice and it has a massive impact on our energetics. So wishing you a beautiful evening's sleep. Thank you to everyone who has joined and stayed for the session. Remember, tomorrow is Flow Strength, 7 a.m. So I hope to see some of you there. I won't chat too much. Go get yourself into a shower or a bath or into bed, or perhaps stay on your mat for a little longer if possible. Same time, same place next week. Remember, I come on at 7:30 for us to prep and start by 7:45 for a 45-minute session. A beautiful rest, a beautiful sleep, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow. Much love.